Hey everyone, you're listening to the Pondering Points podcast. I am your host, Apostle MB. As a pastor, politician, podcaster, and life coach, I will be sharing with you my knowledge, my thoughts, my wisdom, and sometimes my concerns, all flavored with the Word of God, so that it might empower you, encourage you, and equip you. So I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Pondering Points. Let's get started. I got a point for you. Hey guys, what's up and welcome to Pondering Points podcast. I am your host, Apostle MB. Man, I am delighted to have you guys joining with me on the podcast on today, whether you're catching me live this morning or whether you're catching me on the replay. Again, we thank you so much for joining us on today. Listen, let me just say real quickly, thank you guys. We've started an addition to Pondering Points. We come on Mondays at 7:30 a.m. and every Monday of each week. And so we've added a little something on Fridays. And Fridays, we're doing a reel and REEL. Some of y'all are familiar with it, and some of you may not be, but it's right here on Facebook. And we're doing a reel, and sometimes it's a part of YouTube, a part of TikTok. And but thank you. We're having an overwhelmingly response to our reels. They're only like 1 minute long, so it's really short and sweet and to the point. But thank you so much for your views and for your likes and even for your comments. It's very much appreciative as we go forth and to fulfill what I feel that God have given unto me to do, and that is to help enlighten, encourage, and equip you guys, and I hope that I am doing just that. So again, thank you so much for joining us. If you would be so kind, hit that share button and share this broadcast onto your timeline. And it will be very much appreciated that as we send that information out each time that we go live. Well, I've got a point that I want to drop into your week today, and I want to talk about don't settle for it. Don't settle for it. Do you know that there's a thing that hits probably everybody from time to time, or at least maybe I should say many people have experienced this that have hit or affected their life. And this thing is called discouragement. It is one of the greatest oppositions to progression and success. It is one of the greatest oppositions to progression and success. You've got your mind settled, you've got your heart fixed, you are focused on some things and trying to do it, go after it, and all that wonderful stuff. And then you run into a no, or you run into a you can't do it. And sometimes you even have a feeling from within of I can't do it. Now, look at this, because discouragement comes from within as well as from without. It is a very powerful thing. It is a very it is a force that can either slow you down or stop you from succeeding or from progressing into the stuff that you need to go in. So discouragement is, Webster says, a loss of confidence or enthusiasm, a dispiritedness, a dispiritedness. I didn't even know that was a word, but that is when you lose spirit, that drive, that effectiveness. It is an attempt to prevent something by showing disapproval or creating difficulties. And we can see that happen now. Understand that from within is dealing with you. And there's some things that you got to make up in your mind whenever that spirit of discouragement, because it's really a spirit. When that spirit of discouragement comes into your life, you have to make up in your mind that you know what your assignment is, you know what God has called you to do, and you don't allow that spirit to hold you back. Then there is the external. This is when it comes from other people who didn't hear what God told you, who has not been around to really know what you're feeling. They're only looking from the outside in, and many a times they will then give suggestions, and those suggestions will become a level of discouragement into your life. But I got hope for you. I got hope for you. Some of the things that causes discouragement is fear, loss, lack of direction or purpose, issues, lack of control, unhealthy relationships, loneliness, ingratitude, and a undefined identity. All of these things, when you don't know your identity, I just want to park right there. When you don't know your identity, it's easy to get discouraged. And I've seen people like that. One day they're up, all excited, I'm going to conquer the world. And the next day, they're down in the slumps, can't even get out of bed, don't even have no drive, no effort whatsoever. And the reason that is oftentimes is because it's an undefined identity, or fear, or some of the other things that I spoke of. But there is help and there is hope. You have to make up in your mind that I am not going to settle for it. I'm not going to settle for this. I'm not going to allow this to hold me back. I'm not going to allow this thing to cause me to fulfill the purpose that God has called me to do. 2 points, and before I give you the points, let me just give you a story out of the Bible. There was a prophet by the name of Elijah. And I've talked about this before. Elijah was a prophet. He trained Elisha, and the prophet Elijah had gone forth, and he had decreed it and declared that there would be no rain upon the earth because of the sin that was taking place and the idolatry that was going on among the children of Israel. And so he confronted Ahab, Jezebel, and her prophets. He really confronted her prophets, the prophets of Baal. And he confronted them, and they had a showdown. And there were 450 of them, and they went down by the river brink. Now, mind you, this was in the middle of a drought that this prophet had prophesied. And he told them, said, we need to make a decision. We need to come to an agreement. The God that answers by fire, let him be God. And we would denounce the God that don't answer by fire. So he gave them opportunity. They made a sacrifice, built an altar, put the sacrifice on it, and they cried and they prayed and they hollered and they screamed and they cut themselves. They jumped all on the altar and nothing happened. The prophet, their God Baal never responded. Then he rebuilt the altar. He put the sacrifice on there, poured water on the altar with the rocks and all that other stuff. And he began to pray. Fire fell from heaven, and it consumed the altar and the sacrifice and all that stuff. And so the prophets of Baal took off and they ran, and Elijah them went and they went after them and they killed those prophets. And Ahab went back and he told Jezebel, his wife, who was a very evil woman, he told her what had happened. And she sent word by him. Listen now. She told him, said, tell this prophet, told her husband, said, tell this prophet that I'm going to do to him and worse what he did to my prophets. And that thing gripped this prophet. He went into a level of discouragement, and from discouragement into a level of depression. He went and sat up and literally almost hid himself and got away, and he was literally discouraged. And God had to intervene and prove some stuff to him and show him some stuff to get him back on track. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, what you're going to have to do when that spirit of discouragement comes into your life. And it is amazing how he stood up against 450 prophets and saw the fire of God fall. But one statement, Jezebel didn't even go to him. She sent the word through her husband, and that thing caused him to go into a bad level. Let me share this real with you again, and I'm gonna be done. Fear, loss, lack of direction or purpose, issues, lack of control, unhealthy relationships, loneliness, ingratitude, and a undefined identity. Fear was one of the major things that affected Elijah whenever he received that word, and he hid because he became discouraged. The no's, the you can'ts, the I can'ts, but there is help. 2 points that I want to share with you guys, and I'm gonna be out of the way. Number one, whenever you're dealing with the spirit of discouragement, and when you are experiencing discouragement, and you see, you know what, I'm up one day, down one day. One week I'm doing good, excited, and being progressive, and the next week I'm down. It's not working, and sometimes we become discouraged over the first little problem that comes into our life. Maybe we don't have the materials that we need. Maybe we don't have the money that we need, and all this other stuff. And we become discouraged, and we begin to second guess ourselves. We begin to second think, maybe God didn't call me to do this. Maybe this is not my assignment. Maybe this is not for me to do. And you have to pull yourself out of that slump with the help of God. Point number one, you got to be determined. You got to be determined. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, when you know that you know that you know that you are doing what God called you to do, when you know that you know that you know that you know that this is my assignment, this is what I was called for, you then should become determined enough to keep on. This is a part of point number one. You got to keep on pressing, keep on pushing, keep on progressing. Come on, keep on pressing, keep on pushing, keep on progressing. This is the 3 P's: pressing, pushing, progressing. Man, if you press and push yourself, you will progress. You've got to listen. You got to tell yourself, I'm going to get up out this bed and I'm going to accomplish this. If you got your own business and the numbers is not coming out the way you want them to come out, you've got to make up in your mind, hey, I'm getting out of this bed. I'm going to be there at that building or that store or that business waiting for the customers to come. Lord, give me ideas to help draw in the customer base. Give me ideas to help me to be able to do. But see, all of that comes when you are determined. When you become undetermined, and you'll start second guessing yourself, and you won't ever proceed on. If you're watching, if you listen to me today, type in, if you can type in the comment box, type in I'm going to be determined. I'm going to be determined. That's how you got to do. If you know that this is what you got to do, then be determined. Have a resolve. Have a made up mind that I'm going to do it. That's how you don't settle for it. You be determined. Point number 2, go hard. Go hard. Don't stop. Put your all in it. Don't stop. There was a song written back in 2015 for a movie and the name of the movie escapes me now, but the song said, "Go hard or go home." And the essence of it simply was saying, if one doesn't put forth effort, then one might as well stop trying. If you're not going to put an effort in whatever it is that you're doing, then there's no need to try. But if you're going to put a effort into it, ladies and gentlemen, go hard at it. Go hard at it. Don't stop. Put your all in it. All you talk about is it. All you think on is it. Why? You're going hard, and you can do it if you don't settle. Go hard. Type in the comment box, go hard. I mean, come on, push that thing with all of your might. Give it everything that you got. Put all your energy in it so that you can get success out of it. Let me say that again and I'm finished. Put all your energy in it so that you can get success out of it. You need to type that in the comment box so you can see it yourself. Put all of my energy in it so that I can get success out of it. You want to be successful. You want to be progressive. You want to succeed. You want to expand. You want to do good. And the only way you can do that, ladies and gentlemen, is don't settle. Be determined. Don't settle. Go hard. And when you do that, you will get good success. And listen, you will look back one day when you don't have to work so hard and you say, I got this because of hard work. I got this because I didn't settle for just anything. I didn't settle. I went hard. I was determined. And now I see the fruit of my labor. And that's what you want to be able to have, my friends, the fruit of your labor. You want to see the results of what you went hard for, whether it's for a business, whether it's for getting a house, whether it's for getting a car, whether it's something as simple as getting some outfit. Go hard so you can see success. And that's what you want to see in life. You want to see success. But you can't do it if you keep settling for everything that come along. Guys, that's all I have for you on today. Listen, I hope you have a fantastic day. I hope this helped. Please share this broadcast on your timeline so that others will be able to catch it. And I hope this helped you out a whole lot. And I look for you to catch me at the end of this week for another reel for Partner Points. Until then, be safe, be blessed, be prosperous, be determined, and go hard. Shalom.